Hello there. Let's start with a fact that might surprise you. Roughly half of all known animal species on Earth are parasites at some point in their lives. Think about that for a moment. For every free-living creature you can imagine, from the majestic blue whale to the humble garden snail, there is likely a parasitic counterpart living on or inside another organism. This simple but staggering statistic reveals an entire world that is often invisible to the naked eye. It's a world that operates by a different set of rules, a world of dependence, adaptation, and survival that has profound effects on every ecosystem on our planet. This hidden majority is all around us, and understanding it is crucial. In this essay, we are going to pull back the curtain on the fascinating field of parasitology. We will explore what parasites are, how they live, and the incredible ways they have shaped life on Earth. We will journey back in time to meet the pioneering scientists who first uncovered these tiny organisms and their massive impact on human health. The history of parasitology is a story of careful observation and brilliant deduction, often beginning with a single person peering through a microscope. For centuries, people suffered from mysterious fevers and illnesses with no known cause. One of the most devastating was malaria. The breakthrough came in 1880 in a military hospital in Algeria. A French army surgeon, Charles-Louis Alphonse Laveran, examined the blood of a soldier who died from the disease. Under his microscope, he saw something no one had documented before: tiny moving organisms inside red blood cells. He proposed these were the cause of malaria, a revolutionary idea when many diseases were blamed on miasmas. Laveran's discovery was the first crucial step, but it answered only half the puzzle. He'd found the culprit. How did it get into humans? The answer came from a British doctor in India, Ronald Ross. Inspired by Patrick Manson's idea that mosquitoes might be involved, Ross began a painstaking investigation. In 1897, his persistence paid off. He found the malaria parasite, Plasmodium, developing inside the stomach wall of an Anopheles mosquito that had fed on a malaria patient. At its core, the definition of a parasite is quite simple. A parasite is an organism that lives on or inside another organism, known as the host, and derives its nutrients at the host's expense. This relationship, called parasitism, is a form of symbiosis, but it's a one-sided affair. Unlike mutualism, where both partners benefit, in parasitism, only the parasite benefits, while the host is often harmed. Mild irritation, a slight drain on resources, severe illness, debilitation, and even death. The parasite is entirely dependent on its host for survival and reproduction, making the host a living habitat and a constant source of food. This relationship of dependency shapes everything about a parasite's biology. Parasites have evolved incredible adaptations to find their hosts, attach to them, and thrive within their bodies while avoiding the host's immune system, while others can change their surface proteins to become invisible to the body's defenses. To better understand the vast world of parasites, scientists generally classify them into three main groups based on their biological characteristics. The first of these groups is the protozoa. These are microscopic, single-celled organisms that are capable of multiplying rapidly within their hosts. Because they can reproduce so quickly, even a small initial infection can lead to a serious, overwhelming disease. Protozoa can live in various parts of the body, including the blood, intestines, other tissues. Plasmodium, the protozoan that causes malaria; Giardia lamblia, which is a common cause of intestinal illness from contaminated water. Other notorious members are Trypanosoma, the cause of African sleeping sickness, and Amoeba histolytica, which leads to amoebic dysentery. One of the most remarkable things about parasites is their complex life cycles. To survive and spread, a parasite must successfully move from one host to another, a journey that is often filled with peril. Many parasites have evolved incredibly elaborate strategies to ensure their continuation. Some have a direct life cycle, where they can be transmitted from one host to the next of the same species without an intermediary. For example, the pinworm passes its eggs into the environment, which can then be accidentally ingested by a new human host, starting the cycle anew. This is a relatively straightforward path of transmission. However, many other parasites have indirect life cycles, which are far more complex and involve one or more intermediate hosts. An intermediate host is an organism that harbors the parasite for a short transition period, during which the parasite often undergoes a developmental stage. The definitive host is the organism where the parasite reaches maturity and reproduces. The malaria parasite, Plasmodium, is a classic example. The impact of parasites extends far beyond the individual host they infect. They have a profound and wide-reaching effect on human health, economies, entire ecosystems. On a global health scale, parasitic diseases represent one of the greatest burdens to humanity, particularly in tropical and subtropical regions. Diseases like malaria, schistosomiasis, lymphatic filariasis, elephantiasis affect hundreds of millions of people every year. Malaria alone is responsible for hundreds of thousands of deaths annually, the vast majority of them young children in sub-Saharan Africa. These diseases create a vicious cycle of poverty and illness, preventing children from attending school and adults from working, thereby crippling community development. The economic consequences of parasites are also immense. This not only leads to significant financial losses for farmers, but also threatens the food supply for growing populations. Parasites are more than just disease-causing agents. They are a powerful driving force in many core areas of biology, evolution, immunology, ecology. Their relationship with the immune system is one of the most fascinating areas. The constant battle between a host's defenses and a parasite's attempts to survive provides a living laboratory for studying immunology. When a parasite invades, the host's immune system mounts a complex response to try and eliminate it. Scientists study this response to understand how different immune cells molecules work together to recognize and fight off foreign invaders. This knowledge is crucial for developing vaccines and therapies. This ongoing battle is a textbook example of coevolution. As hosts evolve more sophisticated immune defenses, parasites evolve new ways to evade them. This evolutionary arms race is relentless. For example, some parasites coat themselves in the host's molecules to appear as self. In recent years, the fight against parasitic diseases has been energized by a wave of scientific and technological advancements. These breakthroughs are providing new hope for controlling and even eliminating some of the world's most persistent health challenges. Vaccine development has been historically very difficult for parasites because they are complex and evade the immune system. The world's first malaria vaccine, RTSS, has been rolled out in several African countries. A newer, more effective vaccine called R21/Matrix-M has shown great promise in clinical trials. This could potentially save hundreds of thousands of lives. Another game-changing technology is gene editing tools, like CRISPR-Cas9. CRISPR lets scientists precisely modify the DNA of organisms. Researchers can now knock out specific genes in parasites to understand their function. By disabling a gene essential for a parasite's survival, they can confirm it as a promising weakness to exploit. CRISPR is also being explored for gene drive systems in mosquitoes to alter populations and stop malaria transmission. The field of diagnostics has also seen a revolution. In the past, diagnosing many parasitic infections required a trained technician with a microscope. Today we have rapid diagnostic tests that are cheap, portable, and easy to use, giving results in minutes. Many of these tests work like a home pregnancy test, detecting parasite antigens in a drop of blood. Advances in DNA sequencing have enabled highly sensitive molecular tests that detect very low levels of infection. This sensitivity is crucial for surveillance and elimination efforts. Finally, scientists are making progress in the battle against drug resistance. Some parasites, including the one that causes malaria, have evolved resistance to many of our drugs. To combat this, researchers are discovering new antiparasitic compounds. They're also developing combination therapies that hit the parasite with multiple drugs at once to make resistance much harder to emerge. We began this journey with a shocking statistic. About half of all animal life is parasitic. Throughout our exploration, we've seen how deeply parasites are woven into life on Earth. They are not just a nuisance, they are a fundamental force of nature. Laver and Ross, who first revealed the microscopic culprits behind devastating diseases. Modern labs using gene editing, the study of parasitology, is a story of human ingenuity. Parasites shape our health. Parasites shape our economies. Parasites shape the evolution of species, including our own. Parasites are masters of survival, complex life cycles, incredible adaptations. They teach us how our immune systems work. They reveal hidden connections that bind ecosystems. Progress in recent years, vaccines, rapid diagnostics, new treatments, offers tremendous hope. Continued research and global collaboration matter. This fight is for a healthier world and a more equitable world for everyone. The health of one person in a village can link to the ecology of a nearby forest and the life cycle of a tiny insect. Think holistically. Human well-being, animal well-being, environmental well-being. The One Health approach. Protect ecosystems. Ensure access to clean water. Support scientific research. We can break chains of transmission and lift burdens from millions. The knowledge we've gained is our most powerful tool. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. The story doesn't end here. There is always more to learn. If you found this informative and want to support our mission, please help us grow. Subscribe to our channel, share this video, share with friends, share with family, share with anyone curious about the unseen world. Your support allows us to create more content like this. Thank you for watching.